to learn from each other, from the experts in the industry, and of course, share our thoughts with the experts, our feedback with the experts, and get into a very informal and nice discussion. So that's the motive. And I would request everyone to be on mute when one of us is speaking, mostly the expert. And if we have any question, we can definitely keep some time in between the calls and discuss the open questions, or we can keep it for the end. So, Kailash, how are you planning to monitor the questions? Can somebody type in the chat and put the chat in question in the chat? Can we do that?
Yeah. The
Can
both
do
can
that,
be done.
right?
It would be preferable if they can speak, unmute themselves and speak, ask a question when required,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
keep themselves mute when they are not talking. Alternatively, then also it will be preferable if they talk.
Sure, that sounds great. Yeah, thanks, Kailash. So, guys, let's quickly have a quick round of introduction. Let's go round robin. Okay, I can see the list of people who are there. I can see Abhishek is the first person in the list, or Yash. I think let's start from the end today, isn't it, for a change? Yash, hi Yash over there. Would you like to give a quick introduction? If you could unmute yourself and give us a little detail about yourself. Yep. Yash, I saw you unmuted yourself, but I don't know if you're trying to speak.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible. Perfect.
Yes.
Thanks.
I'm Yash Upadhyay I'm a user experience designer from Tata Consultancy Service.
That's great, Yash. Thanks for joining in. Yeah. Hi. So we have the next person. Anybody else want to take it up, or should I go from the last, from the list of our people over here? Vivek is the second speaker. Then we have Sumesh, Sudha, Srishti, Prerna, Prashant, Pooja, Kailash, Harsh, Bishwajit. Hey, Bishwajit, and Abhishek. So,
Hi everyone.
yeah.
Hi Rami. Hi Kailas.
Hi, Bishwajit.
Yeah. So
Anyone else up for a quick introduction? Or I think we can, it's almost 11. It's just 11. So maybe we can just wait for one more minute and then start our discussion. So,
People are
yeah.
joining in.
Yes,
yeah.
I can see many people are joining in. Yeah.
Mhm. Let's wait for 5 or 10 minutes so that more people join.
Sure, sure. Yes. Hi, everyone. Whoever is joined in right now, very well. Warm welcome to the discussion today from IDF Kolkata. So, Sumesh is the expert speaker for the day. Sumesh is there in the call, right? As an I
Yeah,
saw. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Sumesh,
I
yes.
am there in the call.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi guys, hi everybody. Thank you for joining in on Saturday morning. We'll be waiting for another 5 minutes, I think, for other participants to join in, and then we'll get started with a design walk.
Absolutely. Yes. Great. So, once again, anybody up for a quick intro or say a little?
Yeah, hi. Hello. This is Vivek.
Hi, Vivek.
Hi. I am basically heading ULearn. It's an online digital learning platform
Okay.
where we are focusing on courses in the finance space. And I've been associated with Sumesh for some time. We really appreciate his work. So when he invited us for this session, I was happy to attend. And I am joined here with my colleague Ankula, who is basically heading our digital marketing operations. So she's been in this space for about 5 years now and is now totally helping us. She's the CDMO of our company for all the digital work. So I think it was very relevant for her also to join in. So I'll just leave it up to her to introduce herself.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome, Vivek.
Welcome to the group.
Thank you, Vivek, for joining us and for your kind words.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hi. So, who is the next person for a quick introduction? Hi, everyone. Who is joining new? Hello? Hello, somebody try to speak, I think. Hi, Abhishek.
Hi, everybody else. I don't know many of you.
Absolutely, yes. So this is basically, like in each of our expert talk, there are many people who joins in for the first time. So that's the whole motto is. And in the beginning, when everyone is joining in, we try to do a quick round of introduction and just know who is there on the other side of the call. It's good to connect with the like-minded designers and to all the like-minded people who are joining in the call. And that's exactly why we believe in sharing the link for our discussion and call, not only with the design groups but to every other group who we think might be benefited out of the discussion that we have. So it's a mutual benefit that we get at the end of the day. We do learn from our expert and do get to know each other through the calls. So yes, anyone else, quick intro?
Yeah, we can take one by one, like we have volunteer ourselves, like introduce ourselves. So yeah, hello, I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes,
Vishwajit.
yes,
Evening,
yes,
Yeah,
Vishwajit.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So myself, Vishwajit Dikari, and I am in UI designer for a company called Paxni, and I researching that UX and this skill set, and I'm very excited for this session since that session is actually initiated. So yeah, I'm waiting for that session. And yeah, everybody can take the initiative to introduce themselves actually. Yeah, so thanks.
Sure, thanks a lot, Bishajit. So maybe hi to everyone who joined in just now, and let me take this opportunity and give you a quick introduction for us who will be moderating the session for the day, and our speaker also. Then to start with, so as Bishajit, Kailash, hey Kailash, and myself Romi, we are the local leaders for IDF Interaction Design Foundation, Kolkata, and we started these sessions of expert talk under the umbrella of Knowledge Camp, so which is the initiative by IIT Kolkata. And the main motive was to invite the experts from the industry related to design and others, and learn from them, as in understand their stories, their design journeys, their projects, etc. So and we can discuss about anything. It's an open platform. If somebody is willing to share their knowledge with us through the platform, definitely we will welcome that person through this platform and sharing the knowledge with all of us. So this is the motive and the goal that we follow from this platform. Having said that, towards the end of the session, we will share the links for IDF Kolkata and IDF, our social networking sites, through the chat, because I'm not sure if all of you are a member of our regular WhatsApp group or not. So these are the links we will be sharing with you in the chat. Please keep a tap on the chat, and I believe if Kailash can confirm me over here, I believe the chat also can be recorded. Kailash, is it? So
Yes,
if
yes. That is,
yes,
we can view the chat later on.
right. So if whatever link or whatever informative thing we are sharing, we can share through the chat. And towards the end of the session, we will be sharing the recorded version of the session along with the chat with all of you. So for us, we will be sharing it in all the social media platform for IDF Kolkata, IDF India, and Design Kolkata, and it will be shared with Sumesh. So, Sumesh, please share it with your circle, to whoever you have invited. That would be really appreciated.
Absolutely, I'll do that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think now I will. Let's start the discussion today. I think we are good to start. And thanks a lot, Sumesh. First of all, for being the expert on the discussion today. Really, thanks a lot for taking out the time and sharing your knowledge with us, sharing a story with us today. So yes. So up to you. If you just give you a quick introduction of yourself, and then you can start the discussion.
I will firstly thank you, Rumi, so much. Firstly, can you confirm that the audio quality is good and people are able to hear?
For me, it is perfect. I can hear. So, in case if anyone is facing any kind of technical issue, I would suggest please keep it in the chat. I will keep a tab personally on the chat, and I will take it up in between whenever I have to interrupt Sumesh. If required, Sumesh, I might interrupt you in between if there is anything related and in the chat. So, having said that, okay, so people are writing in the chat. It's good for now. The quality of the sound is fine. So let's start the discussion. And guys, for everyone, if you have any question, anything, please keep it in the tab, or if we can take a small quick break in between and do a quick round of question answer session, or any understanding if there is an immediate query, we can do that. Otherwise, let's keep it in the chat and we will take it up towards the end of the session. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Great. Over to you, Sumesh.
Sure. Thank you, Rumi, once again. So we are going to take a design walk today. One of the most important things that we've been missing during these times of COVID is actually walking. And that's what we bring to you here today. This is something that I do very inherently, even when indoors. But it's not a typical walk. You take the walk, you actually observe, put your glasses on, your design glasses on, and try to observe the world around and see what is it that is good, or what is it that is not so good. Take those observations and learn from them. So who am I? I am the founder and CEO of Webbies, True Emoji and Third Vision. So Webbies is basically a design, development and innovation company. We worked with pretty large clients from TCS, Jindal, Imami, and many others. True Emoji is actually our facial recognition, emotion recognition application, and where it recognizes emojis in real time based on your expressions. Third Vision, I will talk about later, or we have it covered in the presentation. So as a person, I love adventure. I have actually done all sorts of adventure, from bungee jumping to paragliding to river rafting, and sometimes in the same day, all three of them. Yeah.
Sumesh, sorry to interrupt you. Still, I am seeing the a design work in a time, that slide. You are, I mean, yeah, you are going to.
Can you see it now?
Can you make it full screen?
I mean, slide show is not coming in our
So
end.
slideshow, can you
Yes,
see?
it's kind of inverted, I think. You just have to mirror your screen, Sumesh, if I'm not wrong.
No,
I have mirrored.
you have to play.
I am playing. So is this good?
It's still the
No,
same
it's.
option that we see. Yeah.
Are you using a two screen? You have a dual screens.
No, I have a single screen.
Okay, you can present. You can just play.
Let me just give me a second. I will just try sharing my entire desktop.
Okay, okay. You have shared the on the keynote.
Yep.
Okay.
So
now it's
are you able to see it? No?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
So thank you for the feedback. And so getting back to adventuring, I love adventuring, and I've done river rafting, paragliding, bungee jumping, sometimes in the same day itself. And I also love innovating. So that is what drives me, a sense of adventure. And that is what comes along with innovation as well, because you're adventuring into new paths. Okay, so I hold a degree in Bachelor's of Commerce. So the techniques that I apply are so easy to pick up that I, being a Bachelor's of Commerce, have actually excelled and it's become very inculcated in me. Yeah, so anybody who's here who is a non-designer, it would be very easy for you to pick up and understand things that I am sharing. And for designers who are here, it will expand your knowledge in terms of what I'm going to share. There will be parts of it that you'd already know, but the idea is to actually be observational and then take parts of the things that you don't know and apply those same techniques for you. So as my childhood, I used to be an extremely naughty kid, the kind of kid parents dread. Okay, so I used to create all sorts of mischief, and that is also what brought around the good observation skills within me, I think, because I used to find loopholes into things that dad used to suggest or mom used to suggest, and do exactly the reverse of what they were suggesting. So what is a design walk and how I decided on the topic? Okay. So a design walk is when you just walk through, but don't just walk through with your mind shut off or just looking at the screen, which is a mega problem right now because everybody is looking into their screen, not observing things around. On a design walk, you are very observational of things around and design of everything around. And the reason I decided on this topic because I miss walking, and I guess all of you all also miss walking in these times of lockdown. Hopefully, every one of you all are safe, but we will go on an adventure to walk design today. So where are we exactly walking? So we're walking, so for people who are aware of this location, this is in South Calcutta. We are walking around Jatin Bagchi Road, which is closer to Vivekananda Park, going down Southern Avenue, and then entering Anderson Swimming Club, which is also the Indian Life Saving Society. So it's about a 11 to 12-minute walk. We'll take a little longer because I'm going to explain things to you. So first stop on our walk is as I walk along, I see this footpath which is broken, repeated with cements, constantly hit on, and it is not very pleasurable to look at. Okay, it looks like a very shoddy job. Maintenance work is causing trouble to walkers as the path remains broken because constant breaking of the footpath. Multiple stakeholders are actually causing the problem because the government keeps making it. Then the telephone line, people actually come in, they break through, and then it has to be put back again. So insight here is just apply empathy, try to understand things behind the scenes, see, observe, and for some of the great designers, the stem or the root of any good design is actually great observation or understanding and empathizing with the cause of the problem. So next stop is a spa signage board. Okay, so here it's a Lavana spa signage. If you break the design down, the top part where you see the flower are very symmetrical. It's circularly symmetrical grid. Okay, so I'll just introduce what a grid is. A grid is basically where you have broken pieces and you have circular shapes around that. Right, and all of them are equally spaced. Whenever things are equally spaced, there is a usage of grid. The next bit, the second bit of the design out here, Lavana, is they use a brush font. So with a brush font, what happens is you get a human feel to the entire thing. And it goes along with the fact that it is a spa where you get massages, etc. A human feel sense of it comes out. So that is how it connects very well. However, the footer seems very strange. It seems like an add-on job. Uh, they've not aligned it properly. There's major usage issues in the design. So as I told you, there are alignment problems. Their color scheme is off. If you look at Lavana and the Spa color, there is a shade of pink and there is a shade of purple, and it doesn't seem to be intentional because there's no balance to the colors. Because had they used this purple somewhere on the flower, it would have the purple, I mean, would have looked better or more balanced. Font matching issues. The fonts do not match very well. So they, even though they start with a brush stroke, they go into a funky font later. And after that, they use something corporatish. So I'm not very sure what the brand exactly is right now. Okay, so this is some of the issues with the Spa. There's somebody on the line. If you could just mute yourself.
Yeah, Jaideep, can you mute yourself? I think that voice is coming from your end. Kindly mute yourself.
I am muting all the other participants.
Okay. So next up is something very interesting, and I'm sure all of you have seen this time and again. It's the no parking signage that you have next to a building. So I'll introduce you to a concept called mental model here. So everybody's mind is attuned to actually working with a model. So that's the exact reason when you walk into a cafe, though it says pull, you still push the door because inherently your mental model says it is supposed to be pushed. Even when you are reading pull, you accidentally tend to push it. So how do we understand these mental models and make use of it is also a key criteria of design. So I'll tell you how these guys, the first one to do it. Now many companies actually do it. You make use of the mental model. So the thing was with the very first marketer who was there. He observed this mental model that people of the building wanted to actually put out a signage of no parking in front of their doors because they take their cars out of it. However, problem that they were facing was how they weren't getting the hassle of printing it, etc., and taking it forward. What happens with the no parking board out here and the placement is they establish a brand with the no parking board, which is a great thing because then the building owner's mental model of actually having a no parking board aligns with the fact that the marketing people want to send out a message as well. Next up is the Coke truck. Okay, so for the Coke truck, I'm sure a lot of you have actually looked at a Coke truck, but out here we'll try and analyze what the design is and how it works. So there is a theory in design called F theory. Okay, so what the F theory says is we read in forms of F. So a form of F is basically when you have a shape like that, you start on the star, the very start of the F, and then move ahead and read it across. So with the Coke logo, what happens is you start with the star. So they've exactly placed the Coke logo on the star. So you exactly hit the logo immediately as you look at the truck. And then you move on towards rightwards. You look at the girl's eye, and the eye, if it were to be open, it points to the Coke bottle. So there is multi-directional thinking that is happening, where you are able to see the Coke bottle, and there is another aspect to the design, which is emotions. A feeling of satisfaction will actually come while you look at the image, it seems like the girl is very, very satisfied, and thus Open Happiness, their campaign, is being expressed through her expressions, not just in text. Next up is the French loaf entryway. If you look at the French loaf entryway and look towards the left of the door, so let's say if you divide the entire image into half and look towards the left and the right, all the glass panes that you'll count are very equal. So they've created a sense of symmetry and a sense of balance as well. So it looks perfectly aligned and perfectly symmetrical. However, if you look at other aspects of the design, it is very minimal in design, right? There's just glass green, consistently green, and just two colors used along with the brick color, where red, green, and white is their entire color scheme. Again, as I told you earlier about grids, those were circular grids. This is actually vertical and horizontal grids, much like your geometry paper. Back in school, when you were in class 8, you must have used geometrical papers. Grids are much like that, where you can take boxes and design based on those boxes. Here they have actually broken it into wonderful grids and created the design very symmetrically. I'd like to introduce you here to another concept. In fact, this is how the French loaf looked earlier. So if you look at the Bengali font on the right side, right, this is an add-on that they have done in the past 4-5 months. But initially, they didn't have this Bengali font. So what they did was they used the French loaf text as a pattern break. Everything else under that is very aligned, very balanced, very symmetrical, but the French loaf was left aligned rather than being center aligned. So they were breaking the pattern with the signage by the signage being on the text being aligned on the left. And that was intentional to actually draw attention and leave white space on the right side, right, so that your mind perceives it well. So with pattern break, I would introduce you to another side where people actually pattern break is music. So music, you will generally, when you hear tunes or even songs, the tune would have a tune of, let's say, sa re ga ma, and suddenly first time they'll read it, second time they'll say it, third time they'll change the note of the gamma, where they'll pitch it louder. So it is called pattern breaking. You establish a pattern first and then break the pattern because your ears get used to it and then it's broken, so you recognize it more. Similarly, in design, there is a pattern break that is being applied here. Next up is wayfinding. So what happens with wayfinding is any good design should actually help you wayfind. Wayfind into systems, into applications, whatever you're doing. Here there is a bad example of how they've actually marked an arrow to Jatin Bagchi Road, but it is marking towards the park. So as a wayfinding tool, it is incorrect and improper. Or had they used a broken symbol or a broken line here, it would have worked better. So a lot of times when you're developing apps or people are using your apps, they don't find the correct kind of signage or wayfinding within the app, and they happen to drop off. So wayfinding is a very important aspect to actually retaining your customers. They should have a clear path into what should flow into where. Uh, if the wayfinding, in this case, they could reach out to a person and ask, but most of your users can't reach out to you. So it becomes more important in your app or your website when they can't see you, that they find the flow very easily. Next thing that I would talk about is legibility. So a lot of signboards that you will see around Kolkata are stuffed with content, and they don't even consider what size of fonts to do, where it will be placed. They just put it up as if they were designing on screen. Understand that when you're designing on screen, it appears very differently from when it will appear in real life. So here on the left, as you see, I can barely see anything that's there. And this was just across the road, which is an obvious distance that a designer should consider. Here, there has been no consideration whatsoever. But on the right side, even if I'm across the street, though this image is not very clear, I was able to make out the text. There was a good contrast between in red and green that actually gave clarity to the communication. So sometimes less is more, especially in these scenarios, was where you don't want to clutter it with too much things, but keep it minimal and well designed. So coming back to the footpath problem, as I walk towards Southern Avenue, I see an alternative footpath. This is the Lego design footpath, uh, and it is such a beautiful example of having considered all the problems that I was stating earlier, where they have actually broken the design into pieces of Lego. So for everybody who's not aware of the Lego system, it's a toy where you can put blocks of bricks to form any kind of design. They use this in the footpath very well, because now whenever a new stakeholder comes into being who wants a telephone connection, a telephone wire to be placed, or any water supplies to be changed, they could just take the Lego off, place the mud again, and then put back the Lego. It's as simple as that. So the consideration that design has to be maintainable is very important, and they did this beautifully and through the solution that they offered here. So this is a very funny example. It is an Indian model of using mental model, the Jugaad version, as I call it. So people keep peeing on roads. Okay. So as I walked across Southern Avenue, I noticed that there used to be this private areas where people could easily go pee. Uh, so some person, probably the tea vendor or anybody, I don't know who it was, actually decided to just put a rope across so that that sense of privacy is actually taken away, and people stop being in the area. And I could see the difference because there was a section where there was a rope, and there was a section there wasn't rope, and the place there wasn't a rope, it appeared very dark. So it meant that a lot of more people have used that as a public area to pee. Uh, if you look at other examples of this, again, and previously the solution to this used to be actually put God tiles so that people are stopped from peeing because of their sensibility of religiousness and not actually willing to do that. So again, in understanding the mental model of your user and then using it to your advantage. This was actually a non-designer solution, but what a wonderful solution. Just the most economical, the most cheap solution, just put a rope across. White space is something that is very important into any kind of design. And I see a lot of designers, especially in the city, I don't know, for some reason, they hate white space. What they do is they try to stretch attach to all the areas of the design availability, and make most usage of it. If that comes from the business owners or the designers, I'm not very sure, but this is what I have observed. They try to actually not even care about how well the fonts are looking. If you look here, all the fonts are actually stretched wide and not very pleasing to the eye. Let the design breathe, right? If you keep it centered, give it a little white space, not only will it attract more eye, it will look well formed and well designed. Why unnecessarily stretch and ruin the design? Next up would be use of contrasts and shades. Contrasts and shades. 1 second. Any problem? Sorry.
No, really, yeah.
No, I was getting a communication. Sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so next up is contrast and shade. Anything in nature actually has great contrast and shade. In fact, whenever we see great contrast and shade, we tend to appreciate the thing more. So if you remember the sunset, it is placed on a blue background with orange hues, which is a perfect example of great contrast. The next thing that you look at is a tree with a blue background. Again, blue and green contrasting really well. So as I walk into the Anderson Club and the entry of the gate, I see a beautiful example of how contrast has been used, was to actually make the gate look very appealing. And so they use a contrast of gray and orange. And so if it was plainly designed, maybe it wouldn't look as appealing. And plus, it has two purposes. Once you have a day mode and a dark mode, so during the day, one color would actually stand out, and during the night, the other color would stand out. So it helps actually balance that side of things as well. Next thing that I talk about is biomimicry. Okay, so if you look at the image on the left, which is an architecture design, and they use an inspiration from fish scales to actually create that design. And you must have seen this all across being used in architecture. Even the Taj Mahal has something similar, or there are fish scales that have been designed and adapted to look like this. Even the other example that I'd like to give you is of the Eiffel Tower. For the Eiffel Tower, the inspiration of the architecture actually comes from bone marrow. So if you zoom into the Eiffel Tower and zoom into the bone marrow, it will look identical, because that's how the inspiration of the design came. And the reason that Eiffel Tower has actually stood that long, despite all the things that all the wars that France has gone through, is because of this reason, because it was founded on the forms of bone marrow design, which is supposed to be structurally one of the strongest things ever discovered. So guys, now you are empowered with these scanning glasses. So when you are actually walking next time, put those on and actually try and use your newfound observational skills and try and observe more of the design that you see, because with good observation comes great design. And take it forward. Next, I'm going to delve into some of the examples of projects that we've done. There's this company called Orient Bites, which is a Belgium-based fooding company, and how we actually use some of our observational skills to create the design. So at this moment, I would request all participants to be unmuted. So I have a question for all of them.
Yes. And also, I think, Sumesh, if it is okay for you, we can ask if anyone has any question also, or anything to discuss upon.
Yep. So I will just take them through this and then
Sure.
I will get to those questions. Yep. Yeah. So here, could you tell me this orange cloud that you see in the background, the orange design, how was that inspired? Anybody take guesses?
For a F theory, I think.
F theory has been applied, but here I'm asking a different question. The orange background that you see has been created by us,
Okay.
and it is in fact used all across marketing material of Orient Bytes today. How do you think
I
we came
think
out for the inspiration for
From the
that?
flame, the chili or the
uh,
flame
Uh,
that's
I think
in.
orange color is instinct of hunger. And if you denote some kind of food, so orange is the basic color to hungry, and I think it may be
Yeah,
possible.
fresh out of
Yellow is
the.
correct. Right. There's no right answer here. I will get to how
Sumit,
we came about it.
uh,
Yeah.
I think that is the color of the food itself and the spills.
Yeah, even I think the color, as in the warm colors, at times we use it mostly with the food domain, as in the domain of beverage and food and etc., because it increases that appetite. So this is how I think the color theory comes into the picture, and it affects the senses that we have. If I'm not wrong, so this is what
There's
my
there's
understanding
there's
was.
no wrong answer to this. So as designers, we understand that everything that we do is subjective and subjective to observation as well. Yep.
I feel this reminds you of the masala powder, the chili that you see in the MDH or ads and stuff like that. The chili powder ads. You find
Okay.
the
Okay.
the in every ad you see one. There is one shot where the powder is flowing in
Hey,
the air.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. In fact, I have some nice chat. The comment I'm reading on the chat, they have
Yep.
some nice observation.
Yeah. Sure.
Ambur,
Go
Ambur,
ahead.
is, Ambur is saying it's Kung Fu Panda inspired.
I
Red
wish I
is
wish
for
that
hunger.
was the case.
Yeah.
Also, it is a Dutch company. Orange is the color of
It's
the.
not a Dutch company. It's a Belgium company.
Oh, sorry.
Though they have presence in Dutch as well, but it's not a Dutch company.
Sorry.
So, any other observations, Rumi? If you're reading more, do share it with us.
Yes. So there are other comments like saffron is a food ingredient. So saffron could be one inspiration. Warm colors bring appetite, and
Right.
hotness chili. Dry
It is.
spices into the air.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, Holi. Okay, there is one more comment for Holi. It could be inspired from Holi.
Okay.
And okay, I think this is it. If I have
It is.
be from Haldi. Sorry, yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. It is a sign of vibrancy, which means that you are celebrating something. So here you are celebrating food.
Right. Okay. Anyone else,
Regional
or should I
inspiration,
reveal it?
flame,
काय के
regional
बारे में है
inspiration.
काय के बारे में
Designing.
मैं आपको क्या
I think now, Sumesh, you can reveal it. We all are waiting for it to be revealed.
Okay, so this
Okay.
was actually out of a design walk, and I observed the shape of clouds and how sunset happens. And we mixed it together to form this design. In fact, this entire design was handcrafted on an iPad with Procreate. So for people who are not aware about Procreate is one tool on the iPad where you could sketch beautifully and artistically. Yeah, so the inspiration actually came from cloud and sunset. Had nothing to do with the food combination. Of course, since it was red, we used a tone of orange as well. That was also a bounding reason. That's so. This was more of the kind that I introduced to you earlier, biomimicry, where we take a look at how biomechanics actually work and try to replicate that into our design. So the next example I think I've given to some of the people who are present here, but I'll still go ahead and share that one. I'm just going to take you through a website. So guys, I hope you are able to see my browsing window.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So if you look at this building, as we scroll along, if you keep scrolling along, the building adapts to the background. Okay. And I will tell you for certain that this is only one building. We are not switching the building. Could any one of you guess what property we've inspired this from and how we achieved this? Anybody?
I had read something about Philips TV, I think, where whatever comes on the screen, the background, the wall lights up into that color to get into the mood.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
I forgot what exactly it was called, but it was a TV that it was lighting up the wall behind it to the scene that was on the TV.
Ambience lighting.
Right.
Ambience lighting.
Right. Right. Thank you, Rashmi, for your answer. Anybody else?
Yeah, so since you are talking so much about biomimicry, I feel that it seems to be inspired by the chameleon or some of the insects which kind of hide in the nature.
Right.
Camouflage, in natural camouflage.
So how, any guesses on how we actually achieved this in design? Like, see, using the same building to actually adapt? If anybody has any knowledge in
Blending
it
mode?
has, in fact, it has nothing to do with programming. It is just to do with
Scrolling, right? If I'm not wrong.
yeah, this is parallax scrolling. That is the technology, but it has nothing to do with it. It is a design thing that we actually chanced on, and we've kind of invented because I haven't seen it used anywhere else. Anybody? So
like using blending modes or something? Is it?
no, we haven't used blending modes at all. Anybody? So I'll go ahead and reveal the answer. So it's actually properties of glass. So glass actually adapts to anything and everything, right? So here what we did, if you look at the, I'll just go back to the website. So if you look at what we've done with glass is basically this entire image. So we filled parts of the image in white and then made it 50% opaque. And the ones in black is black and 50% opaque. So this object is basically a transparent object. And that transparent object, now if you place a transparent object, it will automatically adapt to whatever color you throw at it. So that's how we came up with a solution for this. So the problem that we are facing here was the website was getting really, really heavy if you used multiple images. And that, as they say, necessity is the mother of all inventions. We happen to kind of invent this and play around with this. Individually, it's been used in a lot of places where one shade has been used. In fact, it has been used in the entire iOS interface. But using it as depth with black and shading it through to make it adapt, I haven't come across. You guys can correct me if you've come across something similar. Yep. I hope you get this next one. I think should be an easy one, this one. So this is for Papa CJ. Okay. Guys, guess how we came up for the design inspiration for this. The blocks that we have, I'll make it easy for y'all. The blocks, each blocks that we have, how did we come up for the inspiration for that?
Material design.
Tiles, Microsoft.
Sorry,
That's what
who
material
who was
design
that?
and Microsoft.
The tiles in Microsoft,
Tiles.
Sumesh.
Okay. So this we did before, in fact, material design had come in. So we were just observing. So I'll give you another hint to this. Possibly a lot of you, if you're looking at your flooring, you will understand what the inspiration to this was.
Tiles,
Yeah,
tessellation.
Tiles or mage.
that is correct. So tiles is what we inspired from.
Oh,
And
great.
we created blocks. So congratulations on first getting the first answer right. That's some of the examples. Another example that I'll give you is of the product that we've created. It's called Third Vision. And what we realized again with observation and with a lot of Tika, can you mute yourself? Hello. With a lot of observation, what we realized is while we are going through the Durga Puja that it is superbly overcrowded and it is inaccessible to a lot of people, like elder people, a lot of people who are not abled, so they can't actually move into the crowds. And also, as a Durga Puja, it is very artistic and can have a universal appeal. But because of the crowds, not many foreign visitors. There are still some coming in, but it does not have great documentation as well. So what we came up with last year, and this was like uh, a month from Puja, we decided to do this. We created Third Vision, and again inspiring and thinking about Mars' third eye. And we created an entire virtual experience with Third Vision, where you could experience the entire puja at one go. And we had about a set of 32 pujas that we gave out that people could experience. In fact, this year, I think it would be even more relevant with the COVID situation. Yep. So, as you see, this has been a personal journey. All of the examples that I've stated has been personal in nature and some from other designers in the team as well. And along the way, some of these observations have gone on to get me recognized on newspapers, has got me awards from Google. So guys, follow this part of observation and becoming more aware of yourself. That will actually take you places that you don't even imagine where you could go. So finally, this is the summary. Become a good observer, keep your glasses on. Further read one of the greatest places of inspiration and things that people do and a company that I really admire is IDEO.com. You can go read some of their case studies of how they actually inspire and learn about design through that. And you could go through our website and go through the blog pages and our project pages. You will learn a lot about how we design. So that was it from my side. Now I'd be open to any open questions that people have. I hope you have all had a good time and look forward to your questions.
That's wonderful, Sumesh. Thanks a lot for the great overview. And I really liked the questions that you kept for us. That was really interesting indeed.
Thank you
Great,
so much.
guys. Yes. Guys, so questions, ideas, observation, anything else you want to share? So mostly, Sumesh, for me, what I observed was the path that you took. It's quite near to my home, okay, and it's been so many times that I have visited this area already, and few of the observations did match with mine also. Like I never documented it, but I did observe few things around, and it was similar. So it's really interesting to see the way you have put the entire thing into from a design perspective. How we can take the small things around us and try to figure out what could be the design principle behind it, or if it can be related in that manner. So it was quite interesting and very, very interesting indeed.
I'm glad, Rumi. In fact, our office is very near to the location itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Great. Hey, everyone. Let's unmute. Kailash, you can unmute everyone, I think now.
So
Let
one
everyone-
very fast question is coming to mind, that you talking about the mindset and mind model. So how can I get to know like what kind of mind model pattern, or I mean any kind of study or any kind of articles I go through where I can get this kind of I mean I know that it is a very vast area to discuss all this, but yeah, in basic way, can I get some of the basic idea and all these things? To as a designer, I have to understand the basic mind model of that person, and that and the other end of the person. So anything you suggest that I have to go through or walk through?
So with mental model, a lot is just on research and observation. So I'll give you, as I was stating the observation earlier, that a lot of people won't actually pull the door, or they'll just push the door because that's how their mental model works.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
To actually go along with the mental model, what designers did in certain countries, in fact, certain parts of America, they actually stopped. So wherever they wanted people to push, they actually introduced, instead of having the handle, they put a strip of aluminum. So it was very clear that this is an area to push, and whenever there is a handle, it is supposed to be pulled. So in terms of so you could just Google up mental models, you will get a lot of research on them. And secondly, there is this if you could look this video up from Apple WWDC 2017, where a lot of principles of design are shared. It's called Principles of Design, if I remember correctly. I can share the link post this, where they describe a lot of processes through that. A lot of mental model examples have been given there, where that actually works. And we as designers are not supposed to challenge the mental model. Sometimes, yes, but most of the times we are supposed to understand the guidelines that they are forming and try to adhere and take the user through what is most comfortable to them.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
I have shared a screenshot in chat.
Okay.
It's a comparison between Google search and Bing, and the visuals are very different of their search page.
Okay.
So if you can get some insights on that, any kind of technical insight.
Just let me check.
The Twitter link.
The Twitter link.
Yes.
Yep. So you wanted an input on? Could you just come again, Ratul?
Yeah. Anything like a kind of technical explanation to these kind of layouts.
Okay.
Or comparison among these two kind of layouts. Although right now the Bing layout have changed a little bit. I have checked it today. So they have create a little bit of distance between all the texts. So
Okay.
minor changes have happened.
Sure. So it's very clear that the inspiration for the Bing design was the Google design. And because if you look at the colors also, they are standing pretty close to each other, or in terms of the blue, the green. So they have actually inspired a lot from Google. Here as a difference that I see is they have actually put a logo on the left with the Bing, and Google's actually centered it out. The only reason that they would do that, because I think is Bing has a smaller logo and has a smaller representation. Google now has, but maybe when they were doing the page, they didn't have, they had a full logo. So, and that's why they centered it there. Also, secondly, I see a lot of the Bing design is actually squarish in nature. They are not soft rounded edges. They are cornered. Okay, so all of this is cornered. If you see this, are you able to see my mouse pointer, Ratul?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah. So if you see the edges, it is all very hard toned. However, it's been shown that actually soft edges work better, and in fact, this is also a difference between the iOS system and the Android system, where a lot of things were hard edged initially for Android, right? And iOS had a lot of softer edges. In fact, if you go back and read what Steve Jobs decided early on in the system design, was he wanted rounded rectangles because he felt it was more welcoming, and that is something that they have followed here. Secondly, what I see is there is better usage of white space, and there is a sense of unity and division as well on the Google page. With this introduction of a single line, they have actually split the design into two halves, which is very clear. However, there is no difference here. It seems like a continuation. So that's a major difference. And this again, their research must have shown, or I don't know, but the reason for doing this would be actually be making it easy to consume information. So you know where to consume information, and create increased visibility or legibility, as I told you earlier. So those would be my observations as far as this is concerned. Maybe I could take further look at this later, and I could share more information on this as well.
Yeah, sure. Because this is sorry to cut you, Romy. Yeah. So this is one of the things which have direct comparison, like Google and Bing. We get very less direct comparisons, because if we compare things like Facebook and Twitter, they have different philosophies and they have different way of presenting themselves in front of the users. But over here, Bing and Google are more or less doing the same task, and they have a search page, and the search page have very minimum requirements. It's very minimalistic. So I think this comparison could be elaborated into a full set article, that how the approach is, how over a period of time, like Google is 20-year-old, so how the legacy have affected Google and how they have came up with these things, because over a period of time these things improves, and how Bing have came up with their kind of thought process. I think one of the thought process Bing may have is they want to show more results, more number of results in that limited area. They have 3 results, whereas Google has 2 results. But then Bing probably have failed to understand that you can squeeze in more things into a space, but it will make the thing look cluttered, and then the different kind of visual loads will go high. So probably that is one of the aspect of it. But yes, this could be compared, and an elaborated article is something I would be look forward to.
Yep. So any further questions from anybody else?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, I have one question. Which one has good design sense, Apple or Google?
So people can have their choices with design, but in terms of what we've observed with Apple generally, they are very good with taking on to new things, right? and Google is more of following things along the way. They're very good with how well their systems work, but Apple is good with new interfaces, and their research team does a great job of actually understanding how to actually design new interfaces. Yeah, I haven't seen too many examples from Google out there on new interfaces. Is like when the iPhone 1 came out, or back in the date when the computer was launched with a mouse pointer. So Apple has done a lot of new design principles. Google is also very good in redesigning things. They redesign things, and they actually know a very good point to actually their refresh cycle of design is very appropriate in times, because I remember just before the material design came out, Google was facing this challenge of actually not being cohesive and being design consistent across their systems. By introduction of that back in, I think, 2014, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 16, I'm not sure. We could look that up. With that introduction, and they actually made a lot of consistent. So the approach that they take are very different, and they are both good in their respective areas and the kind of things they do. In fact, Google has failed a lot with new products. If you look at Google Glass, etc. But whenever it's a software-based thing, and it's out of the box that Google does, uh, somehow they don't do it great initially. If you but they tend to actually fail at that area, learn from that very quickly, and apply it to other systems. So a good example of this would be Google Inbox. So Google Inbox was launched as a separate product, but over time, when they realized it's not working, they started integrating that to Gmail. And Google Inbox had great design sensibility and great functionality as well. Some great observations of the attachment actually loading. I'll just give you an image of what Google Inbox looked like. So this is a small image here. So I'll just explain what they did. They tried and bought a lot of things on the front of the screen itself, like the attachment. So you could directly access the attachment from your home page itself. They made fonts look cleaner and more readable. The white space had definitely increased. They created a lot of spacing, which made the information a lot more consumable. However, the product failed, but the design sense has started now coming into Gmail. So the rapid pace at which all of these companies learn from their failures is a great example of how to actually fail and then learn quickly and apply it to places where the user actually appreciates. And Apple also has failed several times, and they have been very quick to adapt to newer things. Even with the Apple Watch 1, it wasn't so much of a hit. They realized, they did their user research deeply. They came up and kept iterating, applied new design principles that eventually made it work and stick on. Yep. So I hope that's answered your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Any further questions, guys?
Yeah, guys, any questions or anything information you want to share? I think I saw some interesting chat over here. Abhijit, right? Abhijit, would you like to little bit elaborate on the pointer that you mentioned in the chat, like related to the psychology part, the background in human psychology? You shared a dimension. So would you like to share a little more? It was quite interesting in the chat. Okay, so I think he's not there in the
So,
conversation now.
Rumi, since it's an interesting thing, can you just speak on his behalf and let us know what he's talking about?
Yeah, let me read the chat directly. So for the pointer, when for he said that with a background in human psychology, his dimension was the bipolar cells in our optical center in the brain perceives the contrast and distinctly shapes it better. These concepts can also be used in designing the GUI. So it's related to the point that Ratul was mentioning, the difference in the ages for Microsoft products versus Apple product or so. So that's
Right.
where he was mentioning something related to the human psychology and the bipolar cells and in our brain. So that's where I thought if he can elaborate a little more on that, it could be interesting for us to understand.
Okay.
Okay,
So this
yes.
is actually, I think I've gone through this. It's something to do with visual perception, and what happens is once you have a contrast, you actually tend to make it stick out better. So this is actually science backing up the design, and so I think designers figured this out first, and then scientists followed in understanding how cognition works. Based on that, it has been theorized right now to actually say, okay, this is how it actually happens through your cells. Yep.
Right, yes, absolutely, Sumesh. Anybody else? Would you like to share anything? Because this is the time we can utilize for discussing any open topic related to what Sumesh shared, or if you have anything you would like to share on the forum.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yes, please.
So what you just discussed now about how we perceive things. Now, can you hear me?
No, could you just speak a little louder, please?
Okay.
May I
Can you hear
get
me
your
now?
name? Yeah. Could I get your name?
I am Abhishek.
Hi, Abhishek. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so it was a lovely presentation, and
Thank you so much.
I would like to say something that regarding the human, how we perceive things. Now, there are, as you rightly said, things have been theorized to, and we have a set of principles called Gestalt principles.
Right,
So,
right.
as per the Gestalt principles, there is a precedence. For example, we notice a color difference much faster than a shape difference. So there is actually a precedence of contrasts. So I think that kind of what Abhijit was talking about is kind of related to that also. So that thing has been very much well documented now, and I think we can all make use of those things very easily because we don't have to think much since it is already readily available as a theory form, as you rightly said.
Right. Yep. So yes, Gestalt principle is a world of its own, and in fact, a lot of our designs that we've done, we have inspired from principles of Gestalt. So guys, in fact, I would request you to actually delve into reading some of these principles. Fantastic read in terms of how our brains perceive design and how we could use that theory that Gestalt had actually observed and documented together to create great design.
So Sumesh, can you share some links so that we can have these insights directly? It will be beneficial for the joinees.
Yep. So, could you, what sort of links would you be looking at? I have already given IDEO.com, as a good
Okay,
starting
yeah.
point, or read their case studies, wonderful case studies. Okay, for people who are not aware about IDEO, I'll tell you what they do. These guys are the inventors of this, what's it called? Design thinking. So I'm sure you must have crossed design thinking and its principle. IDEO was the company that actually founded this. They worked on all sorts of projects, from designing Apple systems to designing Windows systems, parts of it, not all of it, and some great examples that you will see. There was a great example from India also, which I could speak about applying design thinking. But this is not by IDEO, but I'll give you an example. So Dettol as a company, they realized that not many kids are actually washing their hands. So again, understanding the mental model of a kid, they happen to sit on a design thinking discussion. They realized how they could solve the problem was they if they actually created the same composition of Dettol within a chalk. So since these kids in rural backgrounds used to use chalk, so these chalks were then handed over to these kids to write. The contact time has to be about 1.5 minutes for a hand wash to be effective, and kids actually finish it in 10 seconds. So with this invention of the chalk, which applied theories of design thinking, they were able to achieve that mission, that 1.5 minutes the kids are rolling constantly while writing with chalk. So it was an effective solution, and in fact a solution that has gone on to save many lives. If you know the stats, there's a lot of kids in the rural areas who die under the age of 5, which is again a Dettol design program also, where they wanted to save a lot of kids. So great campaign, great design thinking principles, and a lot of case studies are available. And I will share links that are to the best of my knowledge, and so that you can explore more. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much. Yes, meanwhile, guys, I have just in the chat, I have put some links over there, which is the link to our Facebook page and WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group that we have for IDF Kolkata. And these are the groups mostly where we keep sharing these links and other information which Sumesh might be sharing with us, or we might be sharing with you all. So in case if you want to keep yourself updated on what is happening from the forum of IDF Kolkata, please join these platforms, and that's how we can be connected more. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Thanks for organizing the session. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out on a Saturday. I hope it was eventful and you took some learnings back. And if you want to reach out to me, one sec. So if you guys, anybody, if you want to reach out to me, you can join me on LinkedIn, or you could please share your feedback on the session. I would appreciate, because I happen to conduct a lot of sessions. I've conducted some sessions for Titan and other places like Design Kolkata as well. So share your feedback. It helps me grow as well. And as designers, you must be aware that feedback and community connection is what keeps it flowing. So thank you once again. Thanks for joining in.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sumesh, for this great session. Yeah. So, yeah, those who are, yeah, Kailash.
Yeah, thank you, Sumesh. I'm just sharing the LinkedIn link to Sumesh so that everyone can follow him on LinkedIn
I
on chat.
that in the link already.
Okay. Thank you.
So okay, so the last thing I am pasting in the chat is all the links.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think we lost Rumi.
I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just pinged in the chat once again of all the links. The link to Sumesh's LinkedIn profile and his website, Webbies, and the links to the IDF Kolkata's various sites. So guys, having said that, really thanks a lot for joining in on a Saturday morning, and I believe everything is going great at your end and you are staying safe and staying healthy at home with your family members. And do connect with us, and we will keep organizing this kind of knowledge sharing sessions in the next weekends. So keep a tap for the Saturdays morning. Similar timing we use for all of our talks that we schedule. And having said that, thanks a lot to Kailash and Vishwajit for the time and for your monitoring. And thanks a lot, Sumesh. Really appreciate your time and the knowledge that you have shared. It was really interesting and something we have never shared on our platform. So this was quite eye-opening and quite interesting. Now I think even we will take our time of the day and look around and try to see things from that eye that we got as an extra.
Yeah, it's open our third eye actually. I mean, everything is available, but we are not observing the thing that in our that kind of glasses through that kind
That's
of
the
glasses.
beauty of sharing various kind of presentation, like
Correct.
that's the beauty of understanding from various perspectives in a way.
Correct.
So, great.
Thank you, Rumi, Bishwajit, and Kailash for conducting and hosting this session. Appreciate for giving me the opportunity to actually present to everybody here.
Great, thanks, Sumesh. So last one thing,
from now on.
Yeah, Maulina just pinged on the chat. What is the Apple page Sumesh talked about?
So it is Apple WWDC 2017. We'll share the link.
Yeah.
We'll share the link
Ping on the
to
chat also.
the show.
Correct.
Yes. Great, guys. Okay, so after in some time by the end of the day today, we will be sharing the recorded version of this call, and along with the links in one of the IDF pages that I have shared with you in the chat. So if you want to get access to the links and the recorded version, please keep a tap on these forums, because this is where we will be sharing all the recording and all the post event links and activities. And thanks once again. So we will be ending the call for the day over here. And so have a great weekend, and do connect with us whenever we schedule the next calls, the next expert talks. Great. Thanks, guys. So, Kailash, I think you can end from your end.
Yeah.
We will connect.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Yeah.